and YouTube, you can find me at Neatly Planned. This class will be recorded and the replay will be available on michaels.com/classes within 24 to 48 hours. So if you missed or if you feel like you can't write down everything as fast, don't worry, we'll be able to replay it. I always say if there's something that you're not sure about and you have additional questions for me, feel free to DM me on Instagram. I will try my best to answer them to the best of my abilities. We also have the chat function available, so I encourage you to drop your Instagram names, chat with some fellow planner babes, and then there's also a Q&A box. So if you have something that you're like, what the heck is that? How do you use it? Drop it in the Q&A. We have people on from Happy Planner and Michaels to be able to help answer those questions. And they will also give those questions to me out loud at the end. So feel free to drop your questions down. Also, there's tons of knowledgeable planner babes in the chat. So some of them can answer some of those questions. Hopefully we're all a community. So hopefully we all learn and plan together. I'm really excited. If you guys cannot tell, I'm super excited. So we're going to go ahead and switch it overhead because we got a lot to cover today. Okay, so the first thing when you get into planning, I always say it's the tools of planning. Of course, you need a planner. So let's jump into that right away. With Happy Planner has various sizes of planners. So today I'm just going to walk you through the sizes and just the need to know information about them and the different types of layouts. Okay, let's start with the biggest. The biggest is what we call the big Happy Planner. So it's just BIG, big. What do you mean by big? It's the size. This size planner is like a letter size. So if you print it off an actual printer size piece of paper, this is what it is. You can literally punch, and we'll talk about that. This is the Happy Planner punch. You can punch full letters pages in here without doing any type of adjustments or sizing. I love this size. With the big planner, it has a total of 11 discs, so that makes it big. So if you're ever in the store and you're trying to figure out what size planner is this, if it has 11 discs, it is considered a big. And so that's one thing that I really love about the big planner. Typically, when you're on the Happy Planner website or on Michaels, it will say what size it is. So in the title, the description will say a big, a classic, or mini. So you want to be on the lookout for that. So if you're looking for a big planner, it will say big. All right. The next size down from big is considered a classic. This is a classic planner. How do you know it's classic, Nita? It has 9 discs. 9 discs is considered a classic size planner. In comparison to the big, this is it right next to one another. So you're gaining a few inches here. So this is a classic, all right? The next member of the Happy Planner family, most popular, is considered the mini. The mini has 7 discs. That's how you know it's a mini. So we're up to 3. You got big, classic, mini. All right, so there's a few new kids on the block here with Happy Planner. So we now have a half-size planner. So it also has 9 discs, like the classic, but it literally is half. It's in the name, it's half size. So the half letter planner has 9 discs, it's just half the size of a classic size planner. So same in the height, is just not as wide in the width, okay? So that's your comparison to a mini. Sorry about the dogs. And then the final, the baby of the family, is the micro. So the micro planner has 4 discs, and that is our micro. So it's very teeny tiny, super cute. Now, what I love about the Happy Planner system that makes it special, it is a disc-bound system. So you have different planners, but that's what makes Happy Planner special, are the discs. Happy Planner is known for the heart disc, and we're going to talk about those. Okay, so those are the planners. Now, when we're talking about with Happy Planner too, each planner, just like it comes in size, you also have the option in layout. So I'm just going to cover the 3 most popular layouts, which are, you have your vertical layout, and I will give you an example of vertical. So this is considered a vertical. Nita, how do you know it's a vertical layout? Well, it has the 3 boxes. That's how you always know. For a Happy Planner planner, if it is vertical, it will have those 3 boxes divided. They used to, here's a blank version of it. So I showed you one with stickers. This is a blank vertical layout. It has the 3 block boxes. Early on in the Happy Planner days, it used to say morning, afternoon, evening, but now you basically can create any categories you want. So this is a vertical layout. Then the other popular style in a planner is what we call the dashboard. You know, what is a dashboard? What does that mean? So with the dashboard layout, what makes this one special is it has this page here. This is really the dashboard side of the planner. So it's basically I call it kind of your catch-all week. So it has like built-in headers on it. So the headers are calls, emails, appointments, projects, errands, and sometimes too, depending on which planner you buy, this may say buy. You can also use stickers to cover up these titles if you want, so don't get alarmed by the labels there. We can use stickers to cover any of that up. And then what also makes this layout different than the vertical, of course, you have the boxes going across horizontally. So it's you get Monday through Sunday, and then you get this just basically a week at a glance box here. So a Monday through Sunday, you get the 7 boxes on this top box here. So this is a vertical layout, and then the final most popular layout would be what we call horizontal. Self-explanatory. It's really, you know, most planners, whether they be Happy Planner or not, are this typical vertical layout. All of these layouts, dashboard, vertical, and horizontal, are available in classic, big, and mini. Okay. All right, so those are the 3 most popular layouts. We will cover, I think we'll have to end up doing like a series of other styles of layouts, but I wanted to cover the 3 most popular layouts. Now, getting into the tools of planning. Of course, once you have your planner, that's kind of like the big thing, but you need some tools to get started. And so for me, I wanted to go through kind of what's in your bag. And so this is my little on-the-go planner bag that I use that keeps what I call my planner essentials in it. So number 1, when you start off with Happy Planning, because it's customizable, I would highly recommend getting a punch. This is, flip it this way so you guys can read it. This is the big size punch. I have the big because of course I use a big planner, but what's great about the big is if you buy the big size punch, you will be able to use this with any of the Happy Planners. So if you look on the sides here, these little lines, these are guidelines. So if you punch your sheet right here, this gives you the dimensions for a mini, classic, and big. So if you line your pages up there, so for example, if you took just some scrapbook paper, of course I still got my Christmas scrapbook paper here, and if I wanted to add something into my planner, I would just put it to the sides there and I could line it up or cut it to the size planner that I want it to be. You can just simply punch it and you can place it right into your planner. So that's one thing that I love about this system, that you can customize it. And I showed you guys this, I punched it that way because I like fold out sheets. So like if I'm writing something and I don't want it to just pop open when I'm planning, this is a good way to get a little bit of privacy, to do write your stuff on the inside and then kind of have this like peekaboo sheet here. Okay. Also, I hear a lot of people when they first get their punch, when people first get their punch, they will say sometimes that they feel like it's not going, it's not punching as well. So a trick to that is you can sharpen these. All you need to do, you can literally punch aluminum foil and it will help to sharpen your blades. Also, this bottom piece here comes out, and if it's too full like mine is, sometimes that also will keep it from punching as well. So make sure you want to clear this out. Mine is pretty full, but that can be also another like troubleshooting thing. So if you feel like your punch is not punching as well, make sure you have this cleared out, just paper shavings, and then give it a go. But I would recommend at least sharpening your blades once a month. I found that I've been able to really get a lot of longevity out of my punch. I've had the same big punch prior to this punch coming out. So I've had the same punch for 3 years. So, all right, let's talk about disc, because that is a part of your planner. And this is also, a tool. So when we're talking about disc, you have, this is considered an expander disc. This is what we call like the big boy of planner disc. This is if you like to keep all of your pages in your planner. So the planners come 18-month. You can have an 18-month planner, an 18-month and a 12-month planner is how they come. And so if you have an 18-month planner, you don't want to take any pages out and set them to the side. You want them all to be kept there and still be able to add things to your planner. I would recommend you switching to the big disc. That will just give you more room to add. So if you feel like your planner is getting too chunky and you don't have, it's getting too wide, that might be time where you want to add the expander disc. Okay. And so then the next size disc you have, and I want you guys to see the size comparisons. You have the classic disc. The classic disc comes on all of the standard classic planners as well as the big. So this is typically outside of a mini or micro. This will be the size of disc that comes on your planner. Okay, and then the final size is what we call the mini. And so the mini will come, of course, on mini planners, on the micro planners, and also on the half sheet planners. Now, when we're looking at these, your discs also they come plastic or they come metal. And so people say, well, why would you switch from one to the other? I take my planner on the go with me a lot. And so having metal discs just for me allows me to beat my planner up a little bit, and I don't have to worry about a disc possibly breaking. If you keep your planner at home and you don't take it out on the go a lot, I would recommend you can keep it on the plastic disc. But if you feel like you will be bumping and taking your planner out a lot, I would highly recommend switching it to the metal disc. It's a personal preference. Either one, they all work. And I also will show you too, like with this planner, it came with the rainbow disc on it, but this is a great way, discs are a great way to show your own personal style with your planner. One of my planners, I like to mix it up. So I have my current planner, I have a mix of both metal and plastic discs. So it's a way to show your personal style, make it fun. Some people like to have just all one solid color disc. It's just really a personal preference. But those are the three sizes that come in disc, okay? Now, I will say this too, when you first switch to metal disc, another tip you can use, if you feel like your pages are not turning smoothly, you can take wax paper along the metal disc to wipe it. Just wipe it across, take one swipe, and that will help your pages turn a lot smoother by just taking that little bit of wax paper. All right, so here, this bag, of course, says it all, my happy things inside. So when I'm planning, I like to keep this bag just on my desk when I'm planning, and it just helps me to have all of my tools that I need for a planner session or a planner party. I like to have my Tombow adhesive because sometimes I will use sticky notes and they are only sticky at the top side. So if I want them to lay flat, I have my Tombow adhesive. I like to keep my little pair of scissors. You will cut stickers, or we call them sticker surgeries. Like having my stickers readily to be able to cut them. So I like having a small, really sharp pair of stickers. And okay, I had a question on the disc. So I will show you guys how to change the disc out here in just a second. Another thing that I like to keep in my planner, I like to keep these binder clips. Binder clips allow me to mark my pages in my planner, so whatever week I'm in, I like to have a binder clip. You can also use dashboards to be able to jump right to a page, but I like to have it just readily available if I want to clip when I'm working on a particular layout. Something else I like to have when I'm planning is a set of tweezers. You can use any type of tweezers, a small tweezer. These are a little bit longer. I just like to be able to grip them. It's just a personal preference. Something else I like to have, this is an old gift card. I just put some washi tape on it, but I like to go over my stickers once I place them, just kind of in a swiping motion, because this allows them to stick very firmly to my page. Okay. And then the final thing that I have in my bag that's of importance, I have an Exacto knife. The Exacto knife allows me to cut my washi tapes and other materials that I might use really easily as well. So for some people, you can have an Exacto knife or a pair of scissors. This blue adhesive, it's just a tape runner that you can use to add additional stickiness to your stickers. Okay. So those are like kind of my major tools. Another thing that I have, and I'll show you exactly how this works as well once we get into stickers, but this is a white gel pen. This is how we make the lines go away. And I will show you guys this. This is more important once we get to the sticker placement, but this is kind of a sticker hack. So I'm showing you what's in my bag, but I'm going to show you how I use all of these things. I promise you guys, I will show you how I use them. I keep a red pen, a black pen, and a yellow highlighter. That's just my personal style when I'm writing in my planner. This is not like a must-have. These are planner tools. These are just my personal preferences of things that I like to use for my planner style, okay? The last and final thing that I have in my planner kit that I have are these, they're really book rings, but I like to keep them because the Happy Planner sticker books have this little loop in it. We know sometimes this can get bent out of shape, these sticker books, if you're new to planning, sometimes these come off, or your sticker book, the binding here can get a little old. I had some sticker books I've had for maybe 3 or 4 years. So by putting this binder clip on them, even if this breaks apart, this will keep all of my stickers all together. It also allows you, if there's particular sheets that you like, you can take those out and kind of make your own custom sticker book on a ring, okay? All right, so those are our essential tools of planning. All right, so I want to answer the question about the rings because I don't want to forget that. So taking your planner off disc, I'm just going to show you guys really quickly how you can add. So I have all of my disc in a ring. So I'm just going to get 9 random rings. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have a mix of plastic and so taking your planner on and off disc is very simple, literally. So this is just some filler paper, and all you do for your planners is literally you just are going to pop them in one at a time. So you can like kind of make your own custom notebook. If you buy filler paper, you can put it on disc. So this is a way if you're a student or you want to take notes or you want to create a journal, simple way to do that. Okay, everything with Happy Planner is removable. So same way here, I'm just going to add, and typically I will add my cover first because it's a little bit heavier than the paper. So we're actually going to put it on the paper on my cover. And what I love about the Happy Planner covers is that you can reverse them. So if you buy a planner, if you look at like my personal planners, this one in particular, the cover that came with this planner is actually, this is the cover. This was the inside. All I did was flip it inside out. And what I love about Happy Planners covers, there's typically it's plan a happy life or live creatively. And so you still get some writing here. So that is a fun way if you just kind of want to switch it up. And then you literally just pop the pages out. They come off that easily, and then you just put them here. Typically when I'm switching my planner or taking disc off, I will usually take 1 or 2 months off at a time. And same way when I punch my sheets of paper, I never punch more than 3 or 4 sheets at a time. That just keeps my punch, that I will be able to punch things accurately, and I'm not gonna jam up my planner. So literally it's just simply taking them on and off, and you're just moving them from one side to the next. And so for me personally, I like to take 6 months at a time out of my planner. I just feel like for me, it makes it really easy to carry around, and it also allows me to have room to add things. So once you add as much as you want in there, then you can just take your cover. Take your cover off. So this is not necessarily Franken Planning. So the term Franken Planning simply means that you are taking bits and pieces from multiple planners, making one. So since we're doing this, I'll show you guys exactly what this is. So you guys just saw that I took, 3 months of this particular planner. I'm going to, and Franken Planning is when you take different style planners and combine them. So this is a fitness planner. So Franken Planning is saying, I want to keep all of my planners in one house. So think of Franken Planning as like, basically like your home front. So I'm going to take my school, I'm going to take work, I'm going to take faith. So this is my fitness planner. Franken Planner is saying basically instead of having 2 separate planners in 2 different places, I'm going to add all of my stuff into one. And so how we divide Franken Planning is you can use what we call dividers. So this is a divider. So you can label it. Basically what this divider does, it separates my planner for me. So I can label this top half here on the dashboard fitness. And I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. Okay. So on this side, now we have our vertical planner. When we have our tab here, if you see that little tab, I can put a sticker here that says fitness. And guess what? Now I can flip. Now I have my fitness all in one. Say I have a work planner and I want to have a horizontal layout. Now I can add those horizontal sheets here. So instead of that, I want to add just some filler paper in here, and this will be my notes section. So now I'm just adding another tab. This is Franken Planning. When you take all of the things that you want in a planner from separate planners and put them all together in one, that makes a Franken Planner. So you can add like those 3 layouts that I showed you, like dashboard, vertical, horizontal, all in one. So it's essentially different planners all housed in one body. That makes sense. Okay, so let's talk, because now we're on Franken Planning. Let's talk terms. What are terms? What are we talking about, Nita? So here, you have your cover. This is just your cover of your planner. It's reversible. Got it. These are what we call like your monthly dashboards here. So if someone says, oh, I love the dashboards of that planner, they're just talking about that monthly sheet here. Now, dashboards are also these little things that you add on. So some things, just like in our English language, some things have multiple meanings. This is a dashboard. Your monthly sheets are also dashboards. Okay? I'm going to switch here. So another term that you may hear in planning is what we call a year at a glance. So this is your year at a glance. What is it? What makes it a year at a glance? It's basically all the entire year broken down by the dates. So some people use it for keeping up with birthdays. Some people like to use it keeping up with holidays or anniversaries or anything that you don't necessarily want to put in your monthly. Some people like to track like they do their budgeting here, keeping up with their daily spending. These particular pages are a year at a glance. Okay, then let's move on. So the next page, or the next term you may hear a lot, is we call this the currently page. Your currently page is basically the page at the start of the month, and we call it currently because in the old planners, and I'll show you an example, it literally used to say currently, and it would ask like, so this is an example of an older currently page, so you guys can see them side by side. So it literally used to say like, what are you reading, planning, watching, cooking, eating, drinking? But this is really, I like to think of it as like, this is your pre-planning page. This is the page that you're going to use to set the tone for your month. Some people like to write out birthdays or anniversaries. Some people like to use this as a goal setting page for the month. Other people like to use this just as another decorative page. Some people use it as, like when we're talking about Franken Planning, instead of using like a separate section for faith or gratitude, they'll use this monthly page as like a focus page for the month. This is considered your currently page. And they've left it now in a lot of the planners, they will kind of leave this to allow you to really customize it. okay? Another term that you may hear in the planner community is the term guts. What does guts mean? That means if you see a posting or a listing for just the guts, that means simply just the insides of a planner. So that literally is someone will sell you the inside of the planner, no disc, no cover, just the insides. Literally just the weekly sheets and the monthly sheets. That's the guts. So if you see someone saying, hey, I'm looking for the guts of a particular planner, that's just the insides. Because some people will find a particular planner that they really like and they are willing to buy just the guts and redate it. So if you hear the term guts, that's what it means. Now, this is considered the monthly page. It seems self-explanatory, but the monthly page is just like your month in a view, all on those 2 pages when you open it up. A lot of people like to use this as their pre-planning page. For me specifically, I like to use this in conjunction with sticky notes. So Happy Planner sells sticky notes. And I like to use sticky notes on these particular monthlies. That way, I'm not writing stuff in my planner and then having to, like in my weeklies, and having to erase it or trying to plan too far ahead. So if you have tentative plans and they're not confirmed, I would highly recommend using these month at a glance pages as kind of like your pre-planning area in your planner. This particular area on the side is known as, another term is the sidebar. And so I will also show you once we get into stickers, the stickers for monthly pages and then stickers for sidebar. But this area of your planner, both on the monthly, this particular layout does not have the sidebar. I will show you in, yes. So this is considered a sidebar. So I'm showing you the sidebar in a vertical layout. You can use the sidebars. For me personally, I like to use the sidebar as like a habit tracker, or, you know, this was the beginning of the pandemic. I was tracking like the COVID cases here, and just little like affirmations. I wrote this particular week, control your thoughts. So you can use it as gratitude. I know some people use it to write out, you know, if they're doing fitness, you can use that to track fitness in there, or if you track, you know, do your food log. But this particular area is called the sidebar. So that is another term that's very common in the planner community. Now, another term that you may hear in the planner community is the names of things. So we talked about planners, but you may hear the term called happy notes. You're like, Nita, what is a happy note? A happy note is simply a notebook that Happy Planner sells. They sell happy notes in both big, classic, and mini happy notes. This is a classic size, so it's basically, it comes with your dividers or dashboards here. It also comes with some type of paper. So some of them will have lined paper, some of them will have dot grid paper, some of them will have like the grid paper. So when you're looking at the happy notes, they come in sizes and then they come in different styles of paper as well. So that is another term that you may hear. And then when we talk about accessories, there are a lot of accessories with Happy Planner. And I think that's something that makes it very fun, and it really allows you to make it your own. And so one of those accessories for Happy Planner are covers. So these are considered deluxe covers. They come in various sizes. So you have, in order, you got big, classic, and mini. And these, basically you can put your planner right inside there, and they have these little pockets. It allows you to put, like, if you want to put pens, people like to keep extra stickers in there. It is just a fun way to have your planner on the go and keep it from getting beat up. Now, Happy Planner also has another version of this that is a thinner version. They're called snap-in covers, and I was not able to find my snap-in cover, but they do have them, and it's basically a snap-in cover. It's just a harder version of just these covers here. So it is just a thicker version, and it's a little bit sturdier, and it won't bang up. It doesn't beat up as these are. These are just laminated, so they're a little bit thinner, but a hard cover is going to be a little bit more durable. So those are the 2 type of covers that are available currently for the planners. Okay, so The next accessory that I want to talk about, of course, are stickers. Stickers are the bread and butter of Happy Planner. It's one of the things that makes it so special and so fun. And we are going to start. These also are some stickers that I'm going to recommend to planner beginners. So with stickers, just like how the planners come big, classic, and mini, so are the stickers. Okay, so these are 3 different stickers, sticker books in different sizes. So you have the big, Color Story is one of my very favorite sticker books that I would recommend to a planner beginner, because it basically, they're doing all the work for you. You don't have to think about the stickers. Does it work? Does it coordinate? It's already done for you. And so what do you mean by that, Nita? So let's open it up and let's talk through it. So they have different themes as well. So this theme here is Celebrate. Remember that sidebar I was telling you guys about? Well, this is a big sticker book. This sticker, this long sticker, is for a big sidebar. And so just so you guys can get a comparison of what that looks like actually in a planner, I want you guys to see. I want this to be helpful to you guys. So I'm going to take it out. I'm going to use this so you guys can see what I mean by this. Okay, so this is a big planner here on my left, and this is a big sidebar sticker. You see? So it dresses up that side really, really cute and really simple. It's not hard. I'm not a stickler for everything has to be lined up just so. And then another thing with stickers, stickers come with a monthly sticker. So in this Color Story, you have your monthly stickers. How do you know it's a monthly sticker? Because the corner is cut out so you can see the date. And because this is for a big planner, this sticker book is for a big planner, it fits perfectly in that box if I can line it up. And so it still allows you to see the day, and it's not covered up. The design isn't, the number itself isn't covered up, but you get the design of the box. Okay? So that's, in all of the sticker books, you're gonna get a little bit of these monthly, a few of these monthly stickers in there. So it just allows you to add a pop, and you can layer on top of that design box. So say, well, Nita, where do I write? If I have something on the 3rd, how can I write on it? You just layer a sticker on top of it. You can do it at the bottom. And I believe in planning outside the line. So if you have an event on the 3rd, there you go. You can write in that box and still get that little decorative element. So say you have a birthday, you get that hooray or a promotion, and then you can write what it was. Okay. Also, when you're looking at these headers as well, they're going to fit based on the size of a planner. So this is what we consider a header sticker. So I need to go to a vertical layout so you guys can see that. So this is a vertical layout, and this means that this header will fit right across the top of that box itself, that vertical box. And so these will only fit across the vertical box like that. So they won't fit, widthwise across the horizontal or across the dashboard layout. But for a vertical layout, it will fit in that box. Okay. And then same way with these stickers here. These are considered what we call full box stickers. So this one has these really cute lines, and I'm going to go to a blank page so you guys can see just how simple it is, like, to create these really pretty layouts using the Color Story book. Like, you don't have to think about what will go with that. Like, they've already done the work for you. So it's as simple as taking that, and all of it is themed. So it all coordinates, and you can get a really cute spread, simple and easy. Voila. So that's also what we call layering. Layering is when you're taking multiple stickers. Remember that gift card I was telling you guys about? You see I have that little bit of an air pocket here. If I want to smooth that out, if you don't lay the sticker flat, you take that gift card and you go across it. And it just smooths that line right out. So that's another term, is layering. Layering is just when you are taking multiple stickers, kind of making a like a decorative space. Okay. All right, so that is this is a big planner. I'm using a big sticker book in Color Story. Well, Nita, how do I know what's big, mini, classic? So big and mini will always say that they're big and mini. Now, classic will not. If it doesn't have anything on it, like a size, that's how you know it's classic. Just because they have size names on them does not mean that you can't use them in a different size planner. I use my big stickers in minis, I use my minis in classics, vice versa. You can mix it up and use it. These are just if you wanted to use them directly in the boxes for this purpose only, that's what it's telling you. But I'm going to also show you how you can take different size stickers and use them in different planners. Same way. So this is a monthly classic size. And I want to show you guys what a classic size monthly sticker will look like on a big page, just so you guys know. So this, I'm going to put this classic sticker, same way. I don't want to cover up my number, but it basically will just now give me an outline. Okay, I'm going to do that same layering technique that I did because I like layering. I feel like it just adds a little oomph to the page. And layering is also how you can get like little pops of color within a spread. So there. So that's classic stickers inside of a big planner. So don't get set, like if you see a sticker book and you're like, oh, it's not the size of my planner, don't get hung up on that. Like you can use all the things in all the planners. So that's just a fun way that you can layer. So I'm going to show you guys the same thing using a mini, just so you guys can see the stickers can be used any way you like. So let's see. Same way with mini. Mini has these really cute little sidebars, and I'll show you what it looks like in a mini. So this is a sidebar for mini. And we're just going to take focus sticker. Just doing a little layer in there. So that's a mini. So that's just showing you like the size comparisons. Like, yes, this is for a mini planner and a mini planner, but I want to take that same mini sticker and let's do something fun. Like, hey, over these next 2 days or in the next 2 weeks, maybe this is a habit tracker. So like walk by faith. So the habit tracker here is what it's titled, and then I can put in here, what do I want to do for these next 2 weeks? Well, I want to read. I want to, do daily reading. So I'm going to put it here. And then I'm just going to layer it the same way that I would using those mini stickers. And just the mini half stickers here are, they're not smaller. These little quote strips there. And then same way, they have these really cute little box stickers. Just another fun way, like say you want in a monthly, you just want a little pop of color or a little quote. You can use those mini stickers right there in a box to just kind of give that a little oomph. There's so much versatility. You don't have to layer if you don't want to, but it just makes it fun. I feel like that's like the beauty of Happy Planner. Like you can customize it. No one's planners look the same. Like when you open up or you go to a planner meetup or you get on Instagram or Facebook and look at planners in the community, like everyone does it different. There's no right or wrong way to plan. It's just making it your own. Okay. So when we're talking about stickers and ones that I highly recommend, I definitely recommend these color story books. So like that one had the theme, it has a leopard theme here. So themes are also a way that Happy Planner makes what we call collections. You're like, what is a collection? When they make a collection, when they come out with collections, so a collection would be the Happy Planner Girls. The Happy Planner Girls are a release that they do, and there are different types of planners and accessories around those particular planners that they come out with. So this particular sticker book was the Faith Warrior. There was a planner and all kinds of accessories that all match this particular sticker book. So if you find that there is a color scheme or a particular decorative element that you like, check to see if there's a theme with it. So when we're talking about my favorite sticker books that I would highly recommend for a planner newbie, definitely a color story, whether it be big, I would definitely say get one that fits your planner, but you can also use any size to make it, decorative in your planner. So you have big, classic, and then our mini sticker books. Okay, so then Happy Planner also has additional sticker options. They have what are called accessory books. You know, what is an accessory book? So what makes it an accessory book is it is a mix of both stickers and sticky notes. So the accessory books will come with several sheets of stickers. They're a mix of like the full, and these bigger stickers take up 2 boxes. So you're like, Nita, how does that fit in a planner? Let me show you, because I want you guys to have a lot of visuals to go along with the things that I'm showing you guys today. And so I want you to see what that bigger sticker looks like in your planner. And because this is, you know, remember I told you if it doesn't have a size on it, that means it will fit for a classic. So this particular sticker, oh, there's that. This particular is a double box sticker. So it will fit across 2 boxes, like so. So this is really great too if you have a conference or something that's going to be over 2 days, or some people just kind of think of it as having like an imaginary line and you write what's for Friday on one side and what's for Thursday on the other. But I like to do this if I'm attending like a conference, or, you know, if there's going to be rehearsals or sporting events for 2 days or something like that. These are great to use for that. Really fun. Same way with these larger sticky notes, you're like, what the heck is that for? This particular one, it doesn't have any adhesive on it. So remember our Tombow adhesive that I was telling you guys about, why I keep it? This is also another great way, just because like for me, for work, I don't work Saturday and Sunday for my job. So I don't want to necessarily use these boxes. Here's a way to customize it. So this doesn't have any stickiness on it. I'm going to take my Tombow adhesive and just run it. And now, instead of wasting these boxes, I can now have like a big to-do list for Saturday and Sunday, just on things. Maybe I have additional items that I need to get done. This can be just my running to-do list instead of those boxes being wasted. So again, when you're thinking of, I always tell people, really look at your planner and figure out how to make it work for you. If you don't work on the weekends and you work Monday through Friday, and you're like, hey, what am I going to use those boxes? Things like this. Or I also will use these. I'll cover it up with one of those quote stickers that I was showing you guys, and I'll make it a habit tracker. It's just all in the way that you look at your planner. I always tell people, like, you make your planner work for you. Do whatever is best for your schedule and your home. So like, yeah, if you don't work on the weekends, you don't want anything there, and then you can write out, use just a blank like weekend and write out what I want this to be. So if I want this to be fitness, hey, I'm going to track my meals in these 2 boxes. That's a great way for you to just cover that up. And you're still getting your dates there. Okay. So with the stickers, you can move them and you can take them off. And so this is just my best practice. Once you put the adhesive down, the Tombow adhesive, those are stuck there. But the regular stickers, you can lift them. And I always say, just be careful. You want to pull them slowly, but you can move them. If you move them too much, you may have to add some additional adhesive. But when I actually do my pages, when I'm planning, and I just wrote that because I was doing it fast, but I like to actually take my pages out when I plan and lay them out that way. So that might also allow you to have a better grip when you're pulling them out, but you can place and replace stickers. Now, what I will show you, because the sticker is bent, remember that gift card that I showed you guys? I'm going to use that to get the wrinkles out. Okay, so that's a little. Okay, here we go. So you guys see we kind of have some bends there. You just take your gift card and you just run it straight across. And that just straightens it out. Okay, so you can move the stickers. They're really sticky. They have great adhesive on them, but I would just say be careful. Another thing that you can use for your stickers, if you're not sure, where you want to place them. I'm looking for it. You can also use, I have like, it's called a sticker guide. And so basically it allows you to pre-plan where you place your stickers. If you can't find them, you can also use wax paper, and it basically allows you to see through the pages. So you place your stickers on the paper and you just move them around to see where you want to place them. Okay, so that is my accessory book. Now, what I also will say is the color story books are kind of pre-planned. They have multiple pages of coordinating stickers, so you don't have to flip through a bunch of sticker books to try to figure out like, what theme, like this one. It's like a rainbow theme. So you have 2 or 3 pages of stickers that you can pull from that will all coordinate and match. Okay, so that, flip that over. All right, so that's our accessory book here. Now, the final thing, these are what we call kind of like your accessory, this is not an accessory book. I can't think of the name of this, I just went blank. But basically what it is a mix of both stickers, sticky notes, and these are kind of what we call kind of like pocket cards. So you can tear them off. Some of them have designs on them. Some of them have like checklists and dot grid. And so when I'm saying dot grid, I want to hold that up so you guys can see. And this is where people will do like bullet journal styles, or some people just write on them. But it's basically lines that are pre-made on there to make it simple for you. So you don't have to like try to line it up yourself, like they connect. And so if you want to do like add lines, you can add lines. You're just following the dots themselves. So I think that's really cute. So if you want to make like your own checklist there, you can just follow the lines there. These are really great too because they're pre-punched. And so you can add them right into your planner. Happy Planner makes it really easy for you to be able to add all these fun things. I love using these. I like to put like a weekly quote on there, or like just a affirmation, or a like my scripture for the week that I'm following. And you just punch it in. You can layer them. You can do as many as you want. You can take them out. Again, it's customizable, so you can take things in and out of your planner. So say, hey, I got something that's carrying over for the next week. You literally just move them. There's some things that I move every single week over in my planner. Just whether it be like a reporting, or if you have like a ongoing schedule of something that's not changing, I would highly recommend, one of the accessories that I would recommend Happy Planner has what we call filler paper. Filler paper are just additional pages that you can add to your planner. And so like if you have a really busy week, one of those new things that they just came out with, they're called daily sheets. These are accessory packs that you can buy of paper. So they usually come in sheets of 40 or 100. So you got the 40 sheet pad, or you have what's considered like a block pad. All of the pages are pre-punched. So if you don't own a punch yet, no worries. You literally just rip it off the pad and put it right into your planner. You can also use these to kind of like make your own notebook if you wanted to do that. But I like using these on really, really busy days. And so, you know, you have your different layouts, but on a busy, really busy week, or say you don't have time to do a really decorative layout, using filler paper allows you to still get your planning done if you don't feel like you have time to do all the decorative elements. Also, I like using these on days like for work when I have conferences, because they're hourly, it allows me to like kind of come up with my battle plan, and then I'm not losing that additional writing space if I want to take notes during a conference or during that day. Or maybe I have action items that I need to do from meetings and things like that. So my planner itself, the weekly pages aren't being filled with, you know, actual meetings and things like that. I can keep it all on hourly. I also recommend using these if your job is the same every single day. So say you have every morning your kids get up at 7 with virtual learning, you know what their class schedule is going to be every week. You can, instead of using it just like as a everyday page, you can make and do one of these sheets as like your weekly, just kind of your overview page. These are also another term that you may hear people use is pre-planning. You know, like, Nita, what is pre-planning? Pre-planning is when I take, so for work, I use both a virtual calendar and a paper planner. And so basically I take everything that's out of my virtual calendar, my digital calendar, I'm sorry, and I put it on paper. And I write down literally, pre-planning for me is literally sitting down, everything, if I had the most productive day, is writing everything out, getting it all on paper. So you have your hourlies, you have like your top priorities, your to buy list. On this backside, literally, you can do a brain dump. If everything you wanted to get done in an entire week, you write it out. And then from there, I use the backside. And then from there, you can actually write it in by priority because you're not going to get everything done. This is just kind of a focus page that you can have and keep and move into your actual week. So when I have my page, I just take it. So I've filled out, you know, once you do a spread in your planner, I just take this like battle page and put it in here. Just in case, you know, to reference, did I get everything done? Or, hey, I got my to-dos for that particular day done. I'm going to add something else. I'm going to work on something else from my big to-do list on this extra page here. And I love that these just have different themes. The filler papers are great because they're really cute. Some of them have themes like this paper pad is, this is a mom life pad. So this is all about mamas. It says, you got this, mama. This one's more neutral. This is from the Minimalist collection. This one is more of a priorities and it has like the hourly, but it has it by the half hour versus the full hour. So the filler paper, there's so many different designs and styles. They have some that are for kids. They have some that are for teachers. They have some that are for students. Filler paper too also comes in a variety of sizes. So these are classic size filler papers. They also have mini filler papers. I will show you guys so you can see a size comparison. They have half sheet filler paper. And so I want to lay it out there just so you guys can see. They have blank. So if you're like, Nita, I kind of want to create my own boxes, here's a blank. But it has this really cute rainbow. So this is considered big. How do you know it's big? Because we're counting the punches. So it's 11 punches. That's how I know it is a big filler paper. Same way with the classic. It's 9. So you can line it up. Okay, and then you have your half sheets, which again, just because it's big, classic, or mini, you still can use it in a different size. So this is a half sheet, and I love this one because it opens up. Remember, I told you guys that being able to really customize it and kind of keep things private. And then here's some mini. So again, every size, there's a filler paper. So this is a habit tracker. All right. So these are the different size filler papers. The last accessories, and then we'll answer questions. So we have the envelopes, which these are great if you're into planning. You're like, hey, I have some things, you know, business cards or receipts. Where do I keep that? These envelopes are great. If you are into budgeting and you like to keep up with your daily spending, highly recommend the envelopes. They come in 3 sizes. So they come in a half sheet, which are longer and great for receipts. If you work a job where you have to keep up with receipts for expenses or mileage, you can put the receipt there long enough that you can keep them right in there. And then you have these wider ones that are more like a traditional envelope. I like to keep my work business cards in there because typically when I just throw them in my work bag, sometimes the edges can get a little yucky. And so you don't want to give anybody a yucky business card. So I like keeping them in these envelopes in my planner. And again, everything's pre-punched. So you can, it fits right into your planner, no hassle. Punch, punch, punch. Now, if you're saying, Nita, hey, I don't want a deluxe cover. I don't want a snap-in cover. How do I keep my planner closed? Happy Planner has thought of everything. They have these elastic bands that will keep your planner closed. And they're really cute. They come in different colors. And literally, I've used all size bands. So this size band actually, they stretch. So any size band you can use for classic, big, or mini. And then this little loop here is for a pin. So that is just literally an overview of just all of the accessories, and things that come with Happy Planner, really jumping in, how to use them. I would say when you're getting into planning, the first thing to do is really make your planner use. So find a system that works. For me, it is using the box stickers. And I only put my meetings in the box stickers. I've shared this. I have a class on increasing productivity, and I only use highlighter for time. I would recommend getting a couple stickers. Of course, we want to decorate, but really finding out how to make your planner productive for you. And that's coming up with a weekly system and doing it the same way every week. So if you have a vertical planner, delegating what those boxes will be for, if it's for work, the top box is going to be for work, the middle box is going to be for the kids, the bottom box is going to be for home or for all work. Just create a system that you will use every single week, and that will allow you to make planning a habit. Set aside designated time every week to jump in your planner and work on it. It doesn't have to be a lot of time. I set aside 20 minutes every week for planning. I'm a working mom, and so I don't have tons and tons of time to sit and plan. So I try to make it my me time, but also have a little fun with it. So figure out what works for you, but just creating that weekly system. And we're gonna flip it over face front so that I can answer any questions that you guys may have.
Hi, Nina.
Yeah.
I have a question about how you sharpen the punch. Can you please review that real quickly?
Yeah, so with the punch, you simply just take the aluminum foil, like a piece of aluminum foil, and you're just gonna place it like you would punch it the same way you would punch a piece of paper. So just take your aluminum foil. You really could fold it twice because the aluminum foil is so thin. You're going to place it in there and literally just punch it. And I would say probably do it at least 3 or 4 times just to get a good oomph to it. And that will literally sharpen the blades of your punch itself.
Well, that's great. Thank you. There was a question about a white gel pen that you had in your pouch.
Yes, so this is the Pentel, the Milky Pop. So I'm gonna actually show you guys what it's for. I didn't show that. So let's flip it over and I'll show you guys what it's for. So as you guys can see, this planner has this black line here. So a sticker hat, and I'll show you why we use it. So for example, if you have a sticker that is clear, if I would place it without using this pen, you would see this line. You see? So if I take my Milky pen, basically you're going to make the line go away. It's like just a sticker hack. If you don't want that line to show when you place a clear sticker, you're just literally going to go over it. The same way if you use a very clear washi tape, it basically covers up your line. So I would probably go over that a little bit more, but as you guys can see, there's a huge difference from using the Milky pen and not using it.
That's right. That looks great. Yeah, there was a question. We're waiting for you to show that, and concerned that you didn't.
Also, they have like the bigger quote stickers as well, but it's basically just a way to make the line disappear. So if you ever have a line that you don't want, or if you want a bigger space to place a clear sticker, you just would exit over. And I would say maybe go over it 2 or 3 times. You kind of got to let it dry. The more you let it dry, the clearer it would be. It's basically like white out, but without the mess.
Okay. Also, there's a few questions on what pens do you recommend for beginners, and then the dry erase marker recommendation.
Yeah, so for pens, I use, my favorite black pen is the Pilot G2. I also like the black Papermate flares. I'm team black pen, so I don't use colored pens in my my planner, but you can use, my favorite pens are the Pilot pens. I like the Papermate flares. They don't, neither one of those brands bleed. But really, I always say if, get you some guts, get an old planner or a notebook and just literally try them out to see which ones work. Also get on YouTube and look at, a lot of girls will do pen trials to see if pens bleed through Happy Planner pages. So that's another great way to look at pen recommendations.
Okay, and they want to know the name of that gel pen again.
Yeah, so this is the Pentel Milky Pop.
Okay.
And I know Michael's has just like other, they have several different varieties of white gel pens that you can use different, but any of them honestly work.
We should just say that Michael sells replacement discs and expander discs at the stores and online. Just trying to cover some of these real quickly.
Yeah, like they have a ton of discs. They have the metal disc. They have, they actually have the new where there's no heart. So if you don't want the hearts, they have other options. They have like these are the princess with crown. They have Mickey. So yeah, there's all kind of discs now.
And all of this fun product is available at Michael's. Michaels.com in the stores. Getting some of these kind of questions.
Sticker books. I would also recommend for sticker books for planner newbies would be the rainbow sticker book. This is one of my favorite. I use this a lot, and also colorful boxes. Again, it's just like a rainbow. So you have a little bit of every color within a sticker book, and they coordinate very well with the color storybook. So planner book, I would highly recommend. Instead of going out buying tons of different styles of books, I would say like find one or two books that you really, really like starting out, and then just add and build from there. Because what I did was I bought a bunch of different, I bought all the books, but then I was like, oh, that's not really my style. So kind of start smaller and figure out what styles do you like? Do you like a lot of color? Because what you will find is there's tons, if you like rainbow, there's tons of books for rainbows. Or if you like farmhouse or more minimalist, like there's sticker books that are more themed for that. So look at Two Happy Planner Sells collections. So they have like the garden collection. They have, teacher collections. They have a florals. So just figure out like what your theme and aesthetic is. And I would say buy the supplies that you love. So if you only like florals, buy multiple floral books instead of buying, 7 of a different style that you won't necessarily use. I think that's one of my biggest tips that I can give to a planner. Buy more of what you love.
Why don't you give everybody your Instagram and how to find you on other networks?
Yeah, so I am Neatly Planned on Instagram, YouTube, and on Facebook, and I'd love to connect with you guys. So yeah, please give me a follow. If there's another question that you have that I didn't answer, you can always DM me. And I have other videos on Michael's as well, talking about the different styles. I have a class that's called Find Your Fit. So it's all talking about how to pick a planner. I have a class on there I told you guys about increasing productivity. A lot of the other mentors go into depth on how to like design spreads, how to make additional pages. So again, I really encourage you to utilize these free Michael's classes that are available to learn more about planning, because we're all very passionate about it. And so it's like hanging out with friends to share what we love with you guys.
That's right. There are about 24 classes at michaels.com/classes, and this class will be posted in 24 to 48 hours to review it. I've had a lot of questions about that. So there are a lot of questions about how you got your washi stored.
So I will show you.
We're running out of time, but
I know. So this is my Michael's container, plug for Michael's, and these are all my Happy Planner washies, and it's basically just drawers. And so it was really pretty. I had it like Roy G. Bibbed, but I had a planner session, and so it's a little messy. But this just allows me to keep it nice and even. So you can, they were separated by size and color, but they're not anymore. But it's just a fun way to keep them stored. And I can actually get a lot of washi in this. And these are the storage containers available at Michael's, and specifically for washi.
Great.
And same way with my stickers. My stickers are all on the Michael's carts. My cart's actually across the room, but it just keeps them nice and neat. And I can do my planning on the go because I can roll it around.
All right. I think we're out of time.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out. I hope you guys learned a lot.
I think they did. I think everybody has been saying over and over how exciting this was, and a lot of great information. Thank you, Nita.
Thank you. Bye, guys.